California Democrat politicians have found another way to get into your wallet. Now they are proposing a $450 fee every time you dial 911. Insanity. Coming up, we'll tell you about this crazy money grab and what we're doing to fight back. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative representing District 75 in the state assembly. California Democrat politicians at both the state and local level are on a money grab. They are trying to raise your taxes, impose all sorts of fees, because they don't want to stop their reckless spending. And they want to continue to give away the store at your expense. They have been pushed back on a number of fronts in terms of raising taxes by the voters, thankfully, because Californians realize that we have a cost of living crisis. We can't afford to give any more money to these politicians. So what they're doing is they're inventing things called fee for service. Now, last time I checked, we pay taxes for our services. Pothole repair, streets, police, 911 emergency response. That there's a basic set of services that government should provide to all. And in exchange for that basic set of services, we pay taxes. But now what they're trying to do is take that basic set of services and turn around and say, no. We need to charge you a special fee if you use those. And you allow them to do this on one service, and it's just going to continue. It's a scam. Let me go to San Jose. And this is not the only city doing this, but a lot of cities in the state of California are now seeing budget deficits because they've been spending like drunken sailors. And they're coming up with various charges to fill their budget holes. This is what they're considering is a first responder fee, also known as a 911 fee. Watch the show.
Tonight. Starting next year, San Jose residents calling 911 may be charged more than $400 in a service fee. But the fire department says this won't be a bill to you, but to your insurance. KRON 4's Jack Mulmut has details.
Oh, it's not going to be you get charged. It's your insurance gets charged the $450 and change fee. Who do you think is going to pay for that? You charge the insurance company, your premiums are all going to go up. So no, there is no magic budget fairy. There's no unicorn in the backyard that farts out gold bullion to cover these added taxes and fees. You pay in the form of higher insurance costs. Then, of course, the Democrat politicians say, oh my, I can't believe these greedy insurance companies. Maybe we should kill one of their executives. This is, again, the big scam. You don't have to pay. It's that person over there, the insurance company. No, you're going to pay because your insurance premium will be increased. So you're paying for this fee. When government is adding a charge, it gets passed on directly to you in the form of higher premiums.
Importantly, every resident in San Jose should know that there should be no hesitating in calling 911.
Oh, don't hesitate to call 911. No, don't hesitate to call 911. Hopefully you can keep your insurance when your premiums go up. But no, this won't be any impact on your health, so don't worry about it. No, you're starting to charge people when they dial 911. And let me just say, for those of you who say, well, we got to make sure people don't willy-nilly call 911, there is already California state law, Penal Code 653, that makes it a penalty for frivolous 911 emergency calls. For the first violation, it's a citation that warns you. The second violation is $50. Third violation is $100. Fourth violation is $250. That's not even approaching the $450 per pop that San Jose has proposed with their 911 price.
San Jose's Fire Chief Robert Sapien addressing concerns over a new $427 first responder fee approved by San Jose City Council back in March. The fee is designed to alleviate some of the strain felt by the fire department. The chief says last year alone, they've responded to 68,000 medical calls.
Oh my goodness, we have strain, all these 911 calls. What do we do? Well, only 16% of their calls relate to medical issues. Okay, so 16%. And I will grant you that there's an increase, but what's driving that increase? What's driving the increase in 911 calls? Could it be homelessness caused by Democrat policies in the state of California? Why, yes, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Here we have a stat from the Bay Area, San Francisco. In San Francisco, 911 dispatches related to homelessness increased by 72% between 2011 and 2017, while the population of unhoused people grew by 8% during the same period. You go from 2017 to 2025, it's probably even worse. That's the latest data that we have. I mean, it's hard to figure out how many 911 calls are coming because of homeless people, but it's a lot. That's where the real surge is coming from. And you talk to fire departments across the state. I've talked to them, and they say, yeah, our 911 calls are off the charts because of homeless people. It's also off the charts because of our southern border not being secure. Here is UC San Diego Health right at the southern border. Unprecedented increase in the number of border falls and trauma. This was from 2022. It says that that there were 67 cases due to falls at the border wall from 2016 to 2019. But that number jumped to 375 between 2019 and 2021. And from 2021 to 2024 or 2025, January 2025, when Trump came back into office and the border crossings dropped dramatically, we were probably going to see even higher numbers because this is from 2022. I represent the district, the border district in San Diego. I talk to Border Patrol. I talk to our fire departments, and they are overwhelmed by 911 calls from these migrant camps because a migrant crossing the border gets lost, doesn't know where they are, but they whip out their cell phone and they call 911. Oh, I'm having heart problems, because they know someone's going to come find them. Typically, it's not just a fire truck and an ambulance. It usually involves a very expensive helicopter. Mind you, all these 911 calls for homelessness and migrants divert response times from people actually having a real medical emergency. So if Democrats are so concerned about rising 911 calls, as that fire representative in San Jose just pointed out, do your damn job. Fix the damn border crisis and the homelessness crisis that you've caused with your open border policies and your coddle the homelessness policies in our state. But no, it's your fault. You should pay more money. This is the insanity of the state we're living in. By the way, I've got a little bit more to cover on this topic, but if you're sick and tired of these 911 fees, if you're sick and tired of these bad policies, that you're paying the price for their failures, help us clean up the rot in California politics. Go to our website, reformcalifornia.org, and join our movement. We are recruiting candidates from city council all the way up to U.S. House representatives and everywhere in between, governor, state assembly, state senate, to change the course of our state, to take it back from far left political insanity. Go to that website, chip in a contribution if you can, because we can't do any of this work. Recruiting candidates, training them, filing them, supporting them in elections, supporting our ballot measure agenda, which includes our voter ID initiative in 2026. We can't do any of that without your financial support. So chip in a contribution. The average contributor gives about $67 a year. That's about $5 a month. So if you can do $5 a month, please do whatever you can. Or if you can't help financially, join the cause. Go to that website, reformcalifornia.org. Go to the bottom and sign up for our weekly news roundup. We send it out every Friday at 9 a.m. All the top stories that the liberal media in California won't give you. Put in your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you'll be tethered into our growing movement statewide to take back our state. Finally, help us break through the algorithm of these tech companies. We need you to like this video, share, and subscribe. This is so important. Help us grow our footprint through this podcast each day. Like the video, share it, and of course, please subscribe to this channel. All right, back to these 911 fees. I want to continue playing this story from San Jose.
To partial cost recovery, but really, again, would help us to sustain our services longer term.
And Chief Sapien says hardly anyone will see this dollar amount show up as a bill to you personally. It will, in all cases, be ran through your insurance, which, even if your insurance covers it partially, the city will waive the remainder.
Ultimately, this program, just like the ones we've seen across the state, really are looking to bring more resources to bear, primarily through insurance companies.
Oh, it's not going to cost you any money. Don't worry about it. Bullshit. Absolute nonsense. It's dishonest. They're on a money grab. Where's the money going to come from, buddy? Again, these people are liars, cheats, and thieves. Again, I appreciate the fact that they do good work when they do show up. But don't sit here and say, well, in order for for me to do my job, which you're already paying your property tax for, your sales tax, your income tax, all these other fees and fines, you're already paying your fair share. But no. For them to come and do their job that you've already paid for, there will be another assessment. Oh, but don't worry, you're not going to pay for it. Dishonesty. Now, let me tell you, in California, we have a bigger problem, and that is the cost of rolling an ambulance in California is exponentially higher than the national average. The Transparency Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, does something called the Annual Cost of California Report. And it calculates how much higher our costs are in California for basic services, basic living expenses for the typical family. And you should check out the full report at thetransparencyfoundation.org. Thetransparencyfoundation.org. It shows that the typical family of four, middle class, pays about $28,000 more in cost of living in California than if they lived in the average state in our country. But they break it down to every single thing that might hit your household budget. The ambulance service, which is what we're talking about here. You dial 911, fire rolls a fire truck and ambulance. Really, the fire truck, why does it show up? But that's for another discussion. It's all about the union contract. But they roll that ambulance, and then there's a cost that's passed on. $2,407 is California's average ambulance cost in 2023. And each year it gets higher. The lowest state in the nation only charges $661.50. That's North Carolina. We are 73% higher in California. It is insanity here. And so we've got to look at where are we going with our cost spikes throughout the entire country. We are seeing minimum wage, labor contracts, all sorts of extra regulations, add costs to every single service we use, including an ambulance ride, including the ER visit. Here's the ER visit. We've got cost of an ER visit, $2,960 in California, $623 in Maryland. The national average is $1,707.52. We cannot sustain this. And so I'm urging all of us to push back on having to pay more, reject that notion, reject the dishonest narrative that somehow them charging extra fees won't come out of your pocket, because eventually it does. It always does. And demand that these politicians tighten the belt. If you can't, balance the budget, start cutting, honey. That's what a small business does. That's what a working family does. That's what a company does. It's about damn time that California state and local government do that as well. And by the way, Reform California has a whole effort underway to look at cost savings throughout the state in every single nook and cranny. It's called our Doge California effort. Check that out. We are doging California by doing audits for wasteful spending and corruption of every state budget line item, as well as going after local government. When a government says, oh, we need to raise taxes, we say, hand over the budget. We'll just show you where you can balance without a tax increase. And so check out that Doge California project and share our findings on waste, fraud, and abuse. 911 calls, charge of $450, or to be precise, $427, but that's just 2026, January 1st. It'll go up from there. We also know that other cities are doing the same thing. And the state of California passed legislation authorizing these sorts of fees. So this is all part of a larger Democrat politician scam. They went to the state house, got the authority to do this, and they go city by city, quietly imposing the fees, using these dishonest talking points, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's time to put an end to this money grab. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.